Hello, my lovelies. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I just decided to do a pop-up stream last minute because I'm kind of feeling a little under the weather today. Didn't really feel like streaming. However, we have some big news, so we're going to go through that. I want to say hello to everybody. We've got Grampy Lobster in the house. Hi, Grampy. Welcome. Husband is here. Freddie, Shanny's chins. We always like seeing Shanny's chins. Oh, wait. That could be taken a different way. We got Twisted and Roland. Hello, Roland. David Anthony is here. Yes, David, his channel's been yeeted into oblivion. However, XX, the wonderful person, I believe it's a she, I'm not 100% sure. But I believe she was able to grab his last video before the channel disappeared. So if you have not subscribed to XX, the link is down in my description below because she does a wonderful job of archiving all the videos across the different platforms for us to watch and enjoy. We've got Jolene and Mark. Oh, wow. You guys are amazing. Hello. So I guess Rev got the old yeet again. I woke up this morning to see comments that... Oh, Glitchy's here too. Hi, Glitchy. Sorry I missed you. I woke up this morning to see that Rev's channel was gone. Just gone. Bye-bye. The old yeet. I mean, it's not a surprise because it was only a matter of time. Because their original accounts were banned, they are, like, them having other channels on here is just ban evasion. So you know that any channel that they create is going to be... No problem, David. You know any channel that they have is just on borrowed time, really, before it gets... Yes, husband, I see you. It's on borrowed time, basically, until it gets yeeted again. And the content that Rev has been posting the last couple of days, especially with the whole David's tits thing, and he's just been kind of attacking people left, right, and center. So it's not a surprise that his channel was taken down. Now, if anyone is following Dragnot as well, he posted something on his community tab, saying that it was due to harassment and bullying. Which is, you know, really ironic when you consider the fact that what does Shanny and Rev do on YouTube most of the time? Bitch and complain about how poor victims of bullying. Yet, you know, he was the one that was taken down for bullying, and hopefully Shanny's channel will soon follow. She did another quick video this morning too, which is laughable, which we might have time to take a look at. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming today. Just had a baby and is still archiving. Wow, that's impressive. Kudos to her, because I've had 3 babies of my own, and brand new babies are a lot of work, and you spend a lot of time being tired and taking care of a newborn. So the fact that she's taking care of a baby and she's still able to do this, that's pretty amazing. That's awesome. And thank you for clarifying that she's female, because I did not know. And I don't like misgendering people. Roosevelt, to complain about a situation without providing a solution is the same as whining. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. I mean, Rev hasn't really been a very nice guy the last couple of days. And I mean, his channel should have been gone, you know, when he was throwing the N-word around again, just, you know, a handful of days ago. But here we are. He is yeeted. Now, I haven't heard if he's posted anywhere, like on Instagram, and I know he has a TikTok, and I meant to go look at that earlier, but I didn't have a chance, just to see if he's kind of posted a response crying about being deleted again, because he's so proud of his Revelation News Radio brand that to have it taken down for, what, a second or a third time now? Funny shit. I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry for this man in any way, shape, or form. But let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Now, I did, again, watch some of this video earlier. And yeah, I had some questions, Rev. I had some questions about what's going through your head here. And there were some really interesting comments on this particular video. So we're going to take a look at those too. I'm an expert whiner, but instead of putting it on online, I just pester my wife. That's just part of the husband job description there, husband. That's how that works. But let's see what good old Rev has to say before he lost his channel. And if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't really say anything for the first like almost minute. So we might have to skip ahead a little bit. I think it's like 40 seconds into it. Come on, Rev. You've been making videos for how long? You should know how to do this. There we go.
Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing tonight?
So this must have been from last night.
Ida was pretty rough. I don't know any numbers. Like I come unprepared. I apologize.
That's a surprise,
Hi,
Rev.
Nashville. I apologize for not being prepared. That's Shanny's ex, Blue, Christopher D.
Yep.
Chafee the Odd. There you go.
Which it brings into question. We haven't heard from Chris in how long? Like, he did that video with Drag how long ago? And I personally haven't heard anything from Chris recently. I don't know. I know he has a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's been posting on it, but from what I understand, he hasn't been involved in any of this in a while. So why Rev just feels the need to bring him up now, I'm not sure. My child is talking like a monkey. Oh boy. But why he feels the need to bring this up now, I'm not really entirely sure.
Annie's ex, Chris.
First thing on stream is him asking for money again. That's their entire agenda, though, Glitchy, is just money. What can they do to turn everything that they do into making cash? Really, that's their bottom line. I don't think anyone's ever accused Rev of being over-prepared. Nope, I don't believe so.
So, Ida, Shanny, do you know anything about Ida? Did you see anything? Like, was it bad in Louisiana? You don't know? You didn't see it? Okay, well,
it was bad. There was a lot of flooding, and there was a lot of flooding in its path as well. My husband right now is in South Central Pennsylvania, and there's a lot of flooding there. So, I mean, it hasn't been really great. Whoever's been in the path, I guess there's been a lot of tornadoes and a lot of tornado warnings and things like that. So it wasn't an easy go around for Ida. But cigarettes, Carl. Oh, I know. He always has cigarettes. Good old Rev can't go without the cigarettes because then he'll get nasty.
A gig. Oh my God. All right. I'm ignoring that because I'll never get started with nothing if I pay attention to the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery, folks.
Because we all know that Rev is just easily distracted.
You know, I just can't do it today. I have had a blessed day. Extremely blessed by the kindness of others and family. Praise Jesus. Okay, so here we...
Meaning he got donations from people that are simping for him again, which is really sad because all they're really doing is perpetuating this whole victim complex that him and Shanny have, and they're just grifting on the internet for money. And the more people donate to them, the more they're just going to keep doing it rather than, you know, putting on their big boy panties and going out there and getting a job and, you know, supporting their family.
Here we go. We're talking about Shanny's ex-husband. His name is Christopher D. I respect everybody. You know what I mean?
What?
So, his name is known, but on YouTube, he was known as Chafee the Odd. Chafee with an 8 in there. So that's a pretty cool username. You know, I like his username was neat to me. Anyway,
he just rambles about nothing. You know, so this is a 7-minute video. How much does he actually say? other than just repeating himself and not really saying anything of substance. We're in for a ride.
Whew. Okay. This is probably the first time I've been nervous in a while because this is very near and dear to my heart subject, which pertains to my wife, who I love dearly.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of lies out there about how we met and how it all started and all that. And they try to make it adultery, and it never was.
Ah, okay. So for a brief background of people that don't know, is that Shanny got married to this guy named Chris. Because if they got married, because they were only together for like 4 or 5 months before they got married, Shanny had her kids taken away by CPS. And by agreeing to marry Chris, CPS believed that there was a stable enough environment for her to have the boys back. So they got married. And things went well for a while. Chris was very good to the kids, from what I understand. He was very good to Shanny. He worked. He supported them. However, Shanny didn't do such a good job herself. She stopped working. She was expecting Chris to not only support her and the boys financially, but also take care of everything around the house. In the process, she met Rev, and the rumor has it that her and Rev were sexting before the end of the marriage. Now, Chris himself did cheat on Shanny. There was a lot of violence in there as well. But Chris owns up to the cheating. He said that he explained why he did it, but he does own up to that mistake in cheating. But Shanny, on the other hand, doesn't like to be honest about the interactions that she had with Revelation News before the end of her marriage, which is where all the accusations of adultery come from. I can't be convinced that phone sex is any kind of sex, but I guess a lot of people feel differently. I don't think it's so much as seeing it as sex, but when you're having, if you are not in like a polyamorous relationship where, you know, you can have those types of relationships with other people, like your partner knows about them and agrees that, you know, this kind of conduct is okay, I would see that as cheating. Not necessarily as physically cheating, but you're going outside of your relationship and you're seeking some kind of attention from someone else. Like if you're in a monogamous relationship, for example, like I am with my marriage, if my husband was talking to another woman sexually and sexually suggestive, things like that, I would be upset with that. And not so much because I would see it as cheating, but I would see it as a violation of trust. You know? So, yeah, it's the emotion. Exactly, Stella. Now, if we were in a polyamorous relationship where we were open to having other relations with other people like that, then that would be okay, because that would be something that we discussed. Those would be boundaries that we would set for each other, be like, yeah, this is okay. And, you know, so there's got to be a lot of communication when things like that happen. But if you're in a monogamous relationship and you have trust in the other person, and you're expecting them to only have that type of relationship with you, then it can be very hurtful and very damaging to your relationship to find out that someone else has been talking to another person that way. And it can be very hurtful. And I get the impression that Shanny and Chris were expecting to be in a monogamous relationship. So for her to go outside of her marriage to have this kind of conduct with Rev was not acceptable. And I mean, that can be seen as cheating. I have a hunch that if Chris had engaged in phone sex, Shanny would have considered that cheating. Oh, absolutely. There's a massive double standard there. So even though she didn't physically sleep with Rev because he was on the other side of the country, it could still be seen that way. And for sure, she would have blamed the same thing on him if it had been the other way around. Now, Chris admits that he cheated, and he's owned up to that. So I have respect for that. It's not a good thing to cheat in your marriage, so I don't condone cheating, but he did own up to his mistake. So we've got to give him a little credit for that, right? And I mean, there was, I believe, I don't know this story 100%, but I believe Shanny attacked Chris's brother and was actually arrested for that. So, I mean, there was more domestic violence there as well. So Shanny is not an innocent party in all of this by any means. You know, she did a lot of damage to that marriage herself. So the whole premise of this video that Rev is doing right now is pretty shady, and it shows that how naive Rev is to this entire situation, and how gaslit he has been by Shanny about what actually happened.
It's very filthy, disgusting. It's what the heathen do when they rage against Christians, and they twist things and they make your life seem to be lasciviousness and
Ooh, that was a big word, Rev.
And make you out to be horrible people. This is
okay. We don't have to make Shanny out to be a horrible person, because hundreds of us have seen it firsthand because you broadcast it. So it doesn't, we don't have to shine her in any kind of light whatsoever, because Shanny does that on her own. So the way she conducts herself and what she broadcasts online, we can all see with our own two eyes. We don't need to rely on stories from other people because we see it ourselves. And Shanny is a dickbag.
Called libel slander, and it's a law. It's
yeah, that's I was saying that earlier, David, that's why the only reason why she married Chris was so that, because that was a stipulation. If she wanted her kids back, she'd have to be married in order to provide a stable environment for those two boys. And that's why that happened. So I don't think that marriage would have happened without those circumstances.
Something that's not supposed to happen in this country. Thank you very much.
What did he say wasn't supposed to happen in this country? Hang on.
So here's...
Let's back up a wee bit.
Country. It's a law. It's something that's not supposed to happen. This is called libel slander, and it's a law. It's something that's not supposed to happen in this country. Thank you very much.
Tell me that you don't understand how slander and libel laws work without telling me you don't understand that's how libel and slander laws work. Rev, dude. You're a deranged individual. I'm sorry that you're so misinformed, but there's more books out there than the Bible, sir. Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to say that everybody is slandering Shanny, but I don't think he realizes that that would never fly in a court of law. It just wouldn't. With the information that Shanny puts out herself and what she record, like, she has a video out there. I think it was on Draven's Crypt, his channel. I finally found his channel. But he has a video and she's apparently trolling. But how are we supposed to know the difference? Where she's enjoying G-Man's dick right now. And she's giving the impression that, you know, she's sleeping with G-Man so that she has a place to live. And I don't think she really understands what kind of light that she's painting herself in by saying those things. She thinks she's trolling and playing a big joke on everybody. But she's just confirming what we're already all suspecting, and it doesn't bode well for her. It wasn't forced by CPS, it was forced by Shanny by using kids. I don't understand how that works. There are lots of single parents. Can't see how CPS can force a marriage. I am not privy to CPS laws in the States. I know that it's not so much that they would force marriage, but they want to show a stable environment for kids. So it could be, or it could have been that they just wanted another person around to provide some stability other than just Shanny. That she needed support, basically. They wanted her to show that she had support from someone to help raise those boys. So they may not have come right out and said, you need to get married. But it was a way for Shanny to use the system, basically, and say, hey, look, I'm married now. I have a man with a job who likes my kids, and this is going to help me raise the boys and provide a safe environment. So it could have been something like that. Show stability, unification. Yeah, exactly. Just to show that she has a support system other than just her, so that she can take care of the boys. That I could definitely understand. Saying this as someone who's trolled and been trolled before. No decent troll ever admits to trolling when playing the role. Yeah, I know. That's... She goes around and says, I'm just trolling. Like, she doesn't really understand how that whole concept works. Like, when she broadcasted that whole thing where Rev threatened her and the boys, and then to come out and say that it was performance art, I mean, I'm sorry. That's not how that works. It's like what Vaughn did with Andrea, yeah. Is it Andrea or Andrea? I like the way Andrea sounds. Sounds so much more sophisticated. All right, let's see what Rev has to say.
So here's the thing. Chris claims to be a believer in Jesus Christ.
Does he? I don't really know.
So what I need to do to him as a brother of the faith is to tell him that he has severe offense on his ex-wife and her 2 children.
What about the offenses that she committed against him and his family? Where does that fall? I mean, she got arrested for attacking his brother, and I can't remember if it was with a knife or with a hatchet, but she actually injured him, attacking him. So, I mean, why does Chris suddenly now have to make amends to Shanny? Shouldn't Shanny be doing the same?
Me as a real Christian, real believer in the word,
Christian.
and a real believer in his ways,
Uh-huh.
that I must come to you with the legal document that is the Bible.
Bible is not a legal document, Rev. No matter how many times you say it, the Bible is not a legal document.
The binding agreement between God and mankind to guide us through to what amounts to universal salvation at the end, of course. With
Shanny does no wrong, right? Shanny never does any wrong. Like, has she ever really apologized for any of the bullshit that she's done online? The people that she's attacked, the racial slurs that she's used? Like, I don't think I've seen any remorse from Shanny whatsoever for anything.
New Earth amazingness, okay? So I'm coming to him as a brother and telling him that he has severe, not just offense, folks, okay? He has severe offense against his ex-family, okay?
And what about Shanny's offense to her ex-family? Like, why are we just leaving that out, Rev? Shanny's not innocent either. So where's that?
What I'm requesting of Christopher Dornbush, I'll say the name, because
and we're name dropping here. It's really funny that they talk about harassment and bullying and all that bullshit online, and yet they name drop, like full name drop everybody all the time, like without a care. Like, it's dangerous to be friends with these two and let them have any type of information about you, because they show no remorse about just throwing it out there. You know what I mean?
Because it is what it is, okay? His name's out there. So I'm saying to Mr. Chris D that you need to, as a Christian man, if that's what you are.
Hey, Spooky.
Are you, Chris? Are you a legit Christian? That's my question.
Why is that any of your business, Rev?
I do have to. Now, look, brother, I would never talk to you like that before this happened with Shannon, okay?
It happened years ago. It's done and over with. From what I've seen, Chris hasn't said anything about it in, I think, probably close to a year that video was done with Drag. So, I mean, why are we suddenly stirring this up, Rev? What's the point? What are you getting at? Because you're saying a whole lot of shit without saying really anything of substance. You're trying to make yourself look like you're this important Christian and you have the ability to condemn somebody else and judge somebody else because you're a real believer. Like, that gives you some kind of authority in this situation, when it really doesn't. Because whether or not this, Chris is a Christian or not, or what he believes, is really, at the end of the day, none of your business. So you making these demands is kind of pointless.
Because I really felt the Holy Spirit speak through you when you would speak on the Bible, okay? So I'm coming to you as a brother too, a brother that Shannon has massive ought with, and that's what I'm here to do. This is what the Christian thing says to do, Christopher. Okay?
Like calling him Christopher gives him that's just funny. I don't really even understand why he's addressing Chris at all. Why they're dredging all of this up. I mean, it just seems like another tactic to draw some more attention.
And I'm not trying to talk down to you.
What was that inflection in his tone? Pretty sure he's already abstained on how he judges this person considering their religion. Yeah, I know. It's kind of he's kind of all over the place, but that's really how Rev operates. Is he's just all over the freaking place.
Or anything like that. Okay, you got your own mind, and you have your own whatever. Okay, you have your own stuff, just like everybody else. Okay, I ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. Nobody.
He just called himself perfect and then said Chris is not perfect. Did you catch that? I'm perfect. No, Rev, you're not. I really hope you meant to say you're not perfect, because that's probably more accurate. That wasn't the Holy Spirit. That was gas. Oh dear. Why is threatened by Shanny's ex? Are they even communicating? Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like, where is this coming from? I haven't heard about any new videos put out by Chris in regards to the Shanny and Rev situation at all in a long time. So why suddenly now? Like, why are they pulling this out of nowhere to address Chris? Like, what will this accomplish other than just cause more drama and try and drag Chris back into the situation? Because I'm sure that he wants nothing more than just to forget about it all and not have to deal with it, because Shanny's just too much to handle. I know that if I was married to Shanny and I divorced her, I'd be like, I don't want nothing else to do with you. And he's got no obligation to Shanny whatsoever. Those boys aren't biologically his. As far as I know, he didn't adopt them. Excuse me. So he's got nothing to legally tie him to Shanny or the boys. And from what I understand, there's no legal obligation for him there to be paying her any type of support or anything like that. So why drag Chris back into this, Rev, other than just to stir up drama?
He's got the perfection fucking seal of approval on their forehead while they're smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? That's the deal. Okay, we all screw up. And
oh, Dinah, what's this? I've been taking a look at this Jonathan Kleck guy Jason endorsed. Apparently he has a lot of money and believes pretty much what Rev does. I wonder if Jason got some money from him. Oh, that would explain a lot about getting involved with the vampire sunglasses and all that. That's very interesting. Does this dude have a YouTube channel or whatever? Shanny's trying to extort money out of Chris via guilt. She thinks she can manipulate Chris into giving them money in order to make things right. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I certainly hope that Chris is a little more intelligent than that and can see right through that. But that's a low blow. This is showing how desperate they're getting for money if this is what they're doing. They are trying to create drama to attract new viewers. Yes. And it's really sad because we can kind of see the progression just in the last like 3 weeks or so, how many different tactics they've tried to garner sympathy from their audience to turn that into money. You know what I mean? Like the whole G-Man thing and I'm a victim and, all of this stuff, all of the different things that they're trying. We need money for the pets. We don't have any money for the boys, so they're just kind of, it's almost like they're dipping their toes in trying to see what works. Chris wouldn't take shoes from Shanny. He knows. Okay, good. That's good news. Because I'd imagine being married to her, for the couple of years that he wasn't having to live with her on a day-to-day basis, he's aware of how she operates, probably better than most of us do. So I'm glad that he wouldn't. Hello, Broseph Biden. How are you? I'll send them a stimulus check. They already spent their stimulus check. They paid rent for a house that they got kicked out of anyway. Do you remember that tantrum, how mad she got? We shouldn't have paid that rent. you know? I wonder if anybody knows too whether that the back rent that they owe on that house is going to catch up with them. Is this new rich dude Shanny's new boyfriend? Well, Rev's going to have to watch out because that's how Shanny operates as she moves on to the money, right? So, and right now she is admitting to sleeping with G-Man. Now, whether she's trolling or not in saying that, how can we tell? Because Shanny's the one that said it on video, right? So, I don't know. It will. Probably a feeder. Oh. Ew, oh, God, I didn't even think about that, Freddie. Why? Why do you have to give me nightmares now? I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But, ew. Maybe not, because Shanny and her and Rev aren't married. You know how easy it would be for them to be married now, though, now that they're living in Pennsylvania? Because all they would need to go do is go down to the courthouse and get a marriage certificate, and you're legally married in Pennsylvania. That's how that works. What? G-Man hit that? According to Shanny, Shanny's been taking the D from G-Man. She admitted that on video, so if you're interested in seeing that, go look at Draven's Crypt channel, and the interview that he did with her. It's like 2.5 hours long, but yeah, she came on camera and admitted that she's been taking the D from G-Man. Well, Rev doesn't understand he's going to end up being another Chris. Oh, absolutely. She'll just walk away to someone else's money. Yeah, and I've been saying that myself, actually, for months now. That as soon as they moved to Pennsylvania, and I thought it was going to be G-Man because G-Man's got a job. So who knows? That might still happen if she is sleeping with him and they are living in that house. Don't entirely know. But it wouldn't surprise me. Because Shanny thinks she's hot shit. She thinks that anybody that criticizes her wants to get in her pants. She just assumes that everybody wants to sleep with her. And that's just gross. I mean, I guess in one sense I could admire the confidence. But it also shows how, disjointed she is from reality to think that all of these people that are criticizing her and think that she's a shit human being means that they want to get in her pants. Like, ugh. Gross. No. The rent debt follows them. Actually, it will follow Rev. Yep. It won't follow Shanny because as far as I know, that townhouse of theirs was in his name. I don't know if it would have been in her name or not. So, yeah. Walk. The apartment in Colorado was in Rev's name? Yeah, okay. So then that debt's going to follow Rev around. I mean, he's got to know at some point. At least I hope there's a part of him that realizes what kind of hole that he's dug himself in. And because they are not legally married and they were not legally married, I don't know if any of that debt can be sent to Shanny, because sometimes, depending, like up here in Canada, when you live with someone for a certain period of time, you're considered common law. So you don't have to legally be married, but you can be considered common law married if you live together long enough. And in those cases, debts and things like that do get split up between the couple. Now, I don't know anything about American law that way, so I don't know if that is something that would happen down there. I would like to see it that way because I would hope that Shanny would have to take some of that financial responsibility, because Rev didn't do all of that on his own. I would get on my knees and suck 100 random dicks and yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would feel the same way. Shanny cannot homeschool in PA, and yet she is. That's something I want to look into, actually. She cannot homeschool in PA. Because that's what she was talking about in her in the short video, that she's homeschooling the boys. But we'll get into that, because I have a whole lot of questions surrounding that as well, because I'm doing virtual school with my little this year as well. So I know that it is possible, because she's going to be doing most of her classes online with a virtual teacher. So I'm wondering if when Shanny talks about homeschooling, that's what she means. But I don't know 100% for sure. All right, let's get back into the video here.
And have moments. But anyway, Okay. You and I both know. You and I both know that lies have been said a lot. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of them by Shanny and you. The two of you lie quite a bit, and we have evidence of that all over the internet. So,
and it would have been really good. And from what I've heard, you were pretty truthful about Shanny, that she's a good wife and all that, and that's great that you've been honest. From what I've heard,
that's not what he
but
said.
moving on from that, you know that this was not adultery. There was no adultery, but you may have been believing lies that were told to you. But moving on from that, because that's all in the past and it don't really matter anymore. And I'm just going to wrap up this video. Because if you have a channel,
what exactly is he looking for an apology for? Because he keeps mentioning all these things and then turning it around, like the adultery thing. He's like, well, that may or may not. You said she was a good wife, blah blah blah. But that was such a long time ago. So what exactly is he looking out here for?
Whatever, you're not going to be banned. You could post say, hey Rev, here's the channel, whatever. Respond to this. I just, as a guy, as a Christian, Jesus said that when you have aught with your brother, you must come to them with an open heart of forgiveness and to rectify the situation. You need to apologize to Shannon for the way you left her family.
So, using that logic, then Shanny needs to make a public apology about the physical attack against Chris's brother and the way she treated Chris and the way she treated their family and the way she treated her boys and the way she abused you, Rev. I mean, if this is what we're going to sit down and do and talk about apologies, I'm not sure you want to go down that road, considering how long Shanny's list is for people that she needs to apologize for. And I don't think anybody's going to be willing to apologize to Shanny until maybe she changes her ways and actually starts proving that she's sorry and holds remorse for the way that she's behaving and the way that she's been treating her own children and her own partner. I mean, people in glass houses should not be throwing stones. Jason.
That is my request to you. And if you want to make one apology video to Shannon, I think that would be absolutely welcomed by the Holy Spirit and the church. Good night, folks. Good night.
Wow. So as someone was saying earlier in the stream and the side chat there, that this is just a way to try and use guilt to extort money out of Chris. So they must be really getting to the point of desperation if this is what they're going for. Because he was very, very vague. He just wants Chris to apologize for the way that he treated her family, but wasn't really specific and kind of excused the other thing, what he was talking about. So this seems like a manipulation tactic to me. Shanny says she's homeschooling. Yeah, let's pull that video up for a minute. And she did a short. Let's go to XX, and where is it? Right here. Yeah, it's a minute long. Oh, hang on. Commercials. I keep saying this every time I stream that I'm gonna get ad blocker on my computer, and I still haven't. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's put you back. Make you big. There we go. All right. Let's see what Shanny has to say. I did watch this video, though, and it's quite amusing.
My cat stole my socks. But anyway.
Ew.
Hey guys, it's the school year and I'm homeschooling my son, so I gotta have quiet time. So if you want to support me, go to twitch.tv Shanny Needs Love and go subscribe me with your Prime or subscribe to me. Just support me.
So okay. The boys have to be in virtual school then. if this is what she's doing. If she's able to stream on Twitch while the boys are doing school because they need quiet time, then she's not the one that's schooling them. Because I've been doing virtual school with my little for like the last year and a half. So when my daughter is in class, she's on my computer. She's her 100% focus. Our focus is on the class that she's doing and the schoolwork that she's doing. I don't have time to stream while she's doing school. Like, yeah, she needs quiet time and focus time and stuff like that. I was able to stream in between classes, but that's also because she was in kindergarten and they didn't really have full-time classes for kindergartners on the computer. But how is she going to homeschool her boys if she's streaming on Twitch? How exactly is that going to work? Hey, Rev, I made $1,300 since yesterday. How'd you do? David Anthony, I need to know your secrets. Who is she thanking? Who is giving these lazy bums money? I don't know. It's funny how she's saying, come support me on Twitch, because she's been playing, what's it called? Animal Crossing on Twitch with no commentary. It's just the game sound. And she's on there for hours, but she's not getting any viewers. Like, I popped in to look at her the other day while she was streaming, and she'd been streaming for 2.5 hours and she only had 2 viewers. So she's not even maintaining enough viewers to hold on to affiliate, or to make, like, if she were to try to make affiliate today, she wouldn't be able to do it because she doesn't have enough viewership. So if she doesn't have the viewers, she's not getting donations, she's not getting bits, she's not getting subs. You know what I mean? So she's not getting any type of substantial financial support from Twitch at all.
A little bit. And I'll be back during the summertime. But right now, I need some quiet time.
Oh, and that's another thing I wanted to address too. I'm not going to be back until the summertime. How many times so far in just the last 3 months has she said that she's done with the internet and she's not coming back? And at the very most, that's lasted 2 days. 2 days. So she keeps wanting people to believe that she's leaving the internet. But she really won't. I mean, Rev's going to be back up and running in the next couple of days with another channel guaranteed, because the both of them need the attention, whether it's positive attention or negative attention. They both crave it, and they're going to be back. She has a 10th grade education. How is she going to homeschool a special needs child? Right? Exactly. Her 12-year-old is autistic. How the heck does she have the skills to be able to homeschool an autistic boy? And because I have a 14-year-old autistic son, and they learn very differently than other kids, and they do need that special attention. Well, not special attention. They just you need to approach how they learn things differently than what other kids do. It's not anything that you need to do that's dramatically different. But sometimes in certain subjects, they need just extra attention, really, extra time, extra things to focus on, right? Or you need to approach it differently. But I don't see her having even just the patience to be able to deal with that. But it was somebody brought up in side chat earlier, Sassy, invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm gonna have to look at you have some videos up on that, do you not? Because I definitely want to look into that. She's like a teenager addicted to the internet. Oh yeah, definitely. Not to mention Zach regressed. With what that poor boy has been through, that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Because, like, my son is doing very well, but that's not because of anything that I've specifically done. He has been through therapy. He's had aides in the classroom. He's had teachers that have given him extra support. I've obviously given him extra support along with his father, So there's all these things that have been added to my son's life to help him succeed. And from what we can see, poor Zach doesn't have any of that. So what is he supposed to do? You know what I mean? And like living in the squalor that they were living in the environment, and autistic kids and kids with ADHD tend to struggle with anxiety and depression a lot more than a neurotypical kid does. So I can only imagine what that poor child is going through right now. It's heartbreaking. And that's probably another reason why she's homeschooling, or, I say that in quotations, homeschooling, because she doesn't want the authorities to see the state that the poor kids are in. And that's I hope something is being done about that. I really do, because those boys don't deserve to suffer. It'll be a wonder what condition the kids are in if she's too scared to let them attend school, right? What is she hiding? And I mean, you can't just pull your kids out of school and say you're homeschooling them. You know what I mean? Like, up here anyway, you have to do regular intervals of like testing, and you have to submit certain paperwork to the government and things like that to actually prove to them that you're giving your child an education and that they are achieving the milestones that other kids would be in the classroom. You know what I mean? So she has to stay on top of this to make sure that they're staying where their peers would be at school. So it's not something that you can just sit back and say, oh, I'm homeschooling them and not do anything, right? She's going to have to keep up with it, or CPS is going to be on top of her and be like, hey, why aren't you educating these boys? You know what I mean? My 8-year-old daughter has ADHD and I homeschool her, but we tailor our lessons to her needs. Shanny wouldn't be. Yes, exactly. Like, if you know what you're doing, and you have taken the steps to educate yourself on how to do it, to the benefit of your child, and you're paying attention to your child's needs, you can homeschool a special needs child. It can be done. But you've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to be willing to do what you need to do in order to help them succeed, right? But we've seen Shanny just wants to sit on her ass in front of her games and her computer all day and not do anything, and those boys are going to suffer for it. So it's heartbreaking. These poor boys, just breaks my heart. And I wish, and this is the autistic mom in me that just wants to go and scoop up those boys and adopt them to give them a better life. Because when she was yelling at William in front of the computer because he wouldn't get on camera and tell everybody that she's not a bad mom, I've never wanted to reach through a computer screen and beat the shit out of somebody like I did Shanny for what she did to that boy. And I can't believe that those children were not taken away from her after that, because that's just, child abusers deserve to suffer. They really do, because you don't hurt kids like that. You just don't. You really don't.
And they need time where, I can talk, but I figured I can make some money doing the ASMR Animal Crossing because the music is calming and stuff, and it doesn't really bother their schoolwork. You know what I mean? So
didn't notice how she says she added in make money first, but then that it's calming for the boys. They can do their schoolwork. So it's not really about being beneficial for the boys. It's about, well, I can make money on my Twitch because my Twitch is monetized. So we're going to go that route instead of what's best for the boys. You know what I mean? That depends on the state. In Texas, I don't have to submit anything. Not the best system. Each state has its own laws. Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. I've never really dove into homeschooling and what the requirements are to actually homeschool. Because last year when I say I homeschooled my daughter last year, but it was more like we did virtual schooling. So she had a classroom. There was still a curriculum. She had a teacher. She had classmates. It just meant that when she was actually doing her schoolwork that was assigned to her, I was the one doing it with her and kind of, teaching her more in depth on how to do it. I wasn't homeschooling completely on my own. I did go out and buy a grade 1 homeschooling book that goes by what's expected of her to know if I wanted to go the homeschool route. But I decided that her interacting with her teachers and her classmates and stuff like that was probably the best bet, because I would like to get her back into physical school once she's vaccinated. She should lose her Twitch. Absolutely, she should lose her Twitch. I've reported her to Twitch, And I've, given details and examples and things like that, but nothing was ever done. So I don't think Twitch really cares. I thought that Twitch cared about what people do outside of their platform, but they really don't. So I don't report them really anymore because it's just a waste of my time, honestly. I have to get cognitive behavioral referral just to try and recover. I have terrible attention span. Yeah, I've been through CBT before as well, and it can be difficult. I can't believe she actually makes money on Twitch. She got almost no live viewers and almost 200 to 300 over a week. See, Twitch, the way it doesn't really go on viewership though. The way you make money on Twitch is people subbing to her, right? So if somebody just shows up and she's streaming, they can just click that subscribe button and she gets half of what that subscription is, right? So she'll get roughly, you get 50% of your subscription fees, and a subscription in Canadian is like $6.59. So I mean, like maybe I think it's $5 in American. So she gets roughly like between $2.50 and $3 per subscription, depending on how many people are subscribed. And then you get, I think, 80% of any biddies that people donate to you. So like you can buy, again, I'm trying to convert American to Canadian. Like I can buy 500 bits on Twitch for like a little less than $10 Canadian, right? So it works out, I don't know, maybe like, oh, my math is terrible. $10 for, so maybe $2, almost $2 for 100 bits, right? So, I mean, it's not a whole lot, but if enough people are donating to them and you get 80% of the value of the biddies, I mean, that can add up real quick, right? And then you can also do donations. I don't know if she's using StreamYard or not, but you can do donations and things like that as well. So people don't necessarily have to sit and watch her entire stream in order for her to make money. The ad revenue that you make on Twitch is like really, really minuscule. So it's not even worth it. You make like 10 cents, so it's not really a big deal. But if people are subscribing, she's going to make money. And I think that's probably what she's hoping for. But she hasn't reached that yet. Who knows? It'd be interesting to see what it looks like in the background, especially too considering how much money Twitch does keep for themselves. I don't think she's making much from Twitch, barely enough to cover her and Jason's drug habit. I doubt it's even that, really, because she really doesn't. She doesn't pull in the viewership. And the thing is that even if she was pulling in the viewership, I don't think it would make much of a difference because it would be people that don't want to support her financially that would be watching her, right? Her Twitch streams are mind-numbingly boring. Oh my God, yes, it is. It's just her sitting there watching. And it's funny because I've explained this to people before too, that when I go to, because I spend a lot of time on Twitch, and when I go to Twitch, I go to watch the person that's streaming, not the game that they're playing. Right? So if the person that I'm watching is entertaining, they're making great commentary, they're joking, they're funny, they're energetic, I mean, I'm going to be coming back to that person's stream because I am drawn to that actual person. I enjoy who is streaming. But if I just wanted to sit there and watch gameplay, I would either play the game myself, or I would go to YouTube and I would find a playthrough and watch it. So I don't know why people like Shanny expect to sit down and just play through a game and make money that way. I mean, that's boring as shit. And especially when Twitch is a much younger audience too, that just people aren't going to be drawn to that. It's not ASMR. It's just her playing her game, and people aren't going to pay her for that. It doesn't say how many paying subs she has. No, it doesn't. You would have to look at that on your own dashboard. She's been kicked off. It's very hard to open another account under social. She's been kicked off Twitch before, you mean? I got a feeling you're going to be coming back to Ginger stream on Monday then. Yes, Ginger was amazing last night. That was really, really entertaining. I enjoyed him a lot. She needs to be a high school graduate to homeschool. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So that could possibly be another thing for CPS to investigate then. Shanny doesn't understand that watching gamers is a very niche thing. I only watch people play certain NES games, and Shanny, yes, she does have a very off-putting personality. Absolutely, 100%. And when people are watching games, like if they're searching for a particular game, they're searching for a particular type of gameplay. And I'm sorry, but you know, her just sitting there with no commentary, no video, no nothing, just playing the game, that's not going to draw in the audience. PayPal, yeah, she can't homeschool herself as she didn't graduate. Oh yeah, and PayPal is another. She has a new PayPal, she has a new Cash App. So most autistic kids go by an IEP that the school puts out for them. Oh, I didn't know you guys did IEPs in the States too. Yeah, we do those up here where at the beginning of the year, the parents sit down with the child's teacher, if they have an education assistant and the principal, and you sit down and work out an education plan. But yeah, that's very in detailed, and that's basically, it basically talks about and outlining your goals and how you're going to reach those goals with the child throughout the school year. Socialization is a very important factor for autistic kids. Yes, absolutely 1000%. But obviously, Shanny doesn't know anything about raising an autistic child, nor does she care. And that's awful. She's going to tank their credit. Yep. I mean, not any more than she already has. Oh, I see what you're saying. The boys' credit. Oh, yeah, I forgot parents can do that down in the States. That's, you know, if I believed in hell, then I would hope that if this hell is real, there would be a special little place for parents that destroy their children's credit before they're even 18. That's just despicable. I don't understand how any parent could set their child up for failure more than ruining their credit before they're even old enough to use it. Like that's despicable. And I hope she hasn't done that. It wouldn't surprise me if she has, but you know.
That would be wonderful if you support me, guys. I'm going to be quiet on here. I don't care about YouTube anymore, but
How many times has she said she doesn't care about YouTube? But yeah, my family recently found out my sister was autistic. It took 12 years for her to get diagnosed. It's definitely not an easy thing to get diagnosed as autistic. When my son was born, I noticed things about him, about his behavior that was different than his older sister's, who's neurotypical, when he was about 4 months. And then when I went back, because you have a year off of maternity here in Canada. So when I went back to work and my son was just about a year old, the lady that I sat next to at the office had an autistic son as well. So we got talking, and she would describe to me some of the behaviors that her son did when he was younger, compared it to my son, which kind of raised some red flags for me. So from a very young age, I was on the lookout for certain things with him, so that when he was old enough to go and get tested, I was able to take him to the right people. Because we started testing on him at a year and a half. And even with me being aware of what was going on, it still took a year and a half to get our diagnosis. And then we did speech therapy and all of that. So it's definitely not an easy thing to do, even when you're like on the ball and on top of it. So I can imagine people like Shanny, her son probably didn't get diagnosed for quite a while because she probably didn't notice. I don't understand that is identity theft, or that isn't identity theft. Using your child's social for things like that. There's parents out there that do that. Yeah. I mean, I used to work for a credit card company, and I've seen firsthand people use their children's social security number to open credit card accounts for their children that were like a year old and totally bomb that credit. I've seen it. Like, a 1-year-old can't go out and use a credit card. They're totally using their child's identity, and that should be considered identity theft. Why do you think Shanny opted for homeschooling? Because she's hiding something. She's hiding from CPS. She doesn't For some reason, I got muted on the screen. That's really weird. I wasn't even on the StreamYard screen. I'm sorry, guys. I was talking all this time, and for some reason, I was muted on StreamYard. That was really weird. Can you guys hear me now, though? Let me know if you hear me. Okay, wonderful. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I went back to my StreamYard screen, and for some reason I was muted there, and I don't even really know why. I wasn't even on that screen. Oh, StreamYard's playing tricks on me. All right, let's finish up the last couple seconds here, see what she has to say.
But anyway, bye, guys.
Oh, that was it. Anticlimactic there. My goodness. So I guess we're just kind of going to keep on top of this and see, you know, where it goes, how long this disappearance from YouTube is going to last. I bet you any money it's not going to last for really all that long, because every time she said she's disappearing from the internet, it only lasts 2 days. So we will see, and we'll see if Rev pops up on Instagram. If you're interested, definitely, again, keep subscribed to XX, because that is where I get all of my material. This is how I know where they're posting on other platforms. So that is definitely much easier to keep up to date with than trying to go to Instagram and all these other places where they are. I bet they've already made a new account. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt Rev that's Rev hasn't already set up a new account, and he's just waiting. So, you know, that's just how they operate. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you and everybody new that subscribed to my channel. I will keep you updated. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing an open room on a different topic with my husband at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be sitting down and inviting people to convince me. So I am an atheist, and if you are a theist and you think you have evidence that can convince me, then I invite you to come and join us. Also, if you have anybody that you are interested in me reviewing or having a look at, or just a character in general that you would like me to see, leave a comment and I will definitely go check them out and possibly do a review of their I totally lost my train of thought there. It's time for the bong. I'll definitely go and check out their material to see if they're worthy of reviewing. But you guys are all amazing. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Have a great weekend, guys.